Goku, Kakarot, a renowned icon around the whole world, one of the most recognizable brand icons who has saved the earth time and time again and done fucked up Frieza countless times, and now with the Battle Royale in Dragon Ball Super trying to prove himself the strongest amongst the universes. But let's rewind, let's talk about the birth of Goku and how did Dragon Ball and everything we see all begin. So Akira Toriyama, yeah, this dude, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy that created Dragon Ball. Yeah, Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT. It all started with Dragon Ball in 1984, 33 years ago. That's old enough to be some of you guys' father watching this video, I think. One of the roles that played a significant role in the creation of Goku and Dragon Ball was the influences Akira Toriyama had from Chinese culture, and once you grasp a better understanding of the references he may have used in the manga, anime or other media, you will start to see the indication of the source material used to create Goku and characterize the show. So a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans already know this, but let's reiterate it. The basic framework and concept of Goku and Dragon Ball stems from Journey from the West, but as the anime progresses we start to see references to other media as Toriyama's consumption of Western media and Kung Fu movies played a role. Toriyama is known to be a huge fan of Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, for example, which is one of the reasons there is a huge emphasis on martial arts in Budokai tournaments and choreography. He also loves Disney movies and 80s Hollywood movies such as Terminator, Alien and other films, which are all directly parodied in the show. The manga began serialization in Shonen Jump, where once a week Toriyama had to create 18 pages of new material for the manga. He did this for approximately 16 years straight. As you can imagine, this is actually more difficult than it sounds. Toriyama did procrastinate much like us, like when we are doing essays for school, work at jobs and just goofing around and having fun. Obviously he was still reaching his deadlines and losing sleep over it, otherwise we wouldn't have the new chapter every week, right? However, Toriyama rarely overthinks things and lets ideas just come to him. This is quite evident in the multiple plot holes and consistency problems which readers have found, and things have been forgotten which he admittedly openly says himself in multiple interviews that I forgot this, I forgot that, I forgot this, I forgot launch, I forgot the tail, I forgot if I forgot Super Saiyan 3, I forgot Android 18 had blonde hair, and the list goes on and on. So let's begin with Goku's character and the story of Dragon Ball. It is essentially loosely based on the 16th century Chinese tale called Journey to the West. Goku draws inspiration from Son Wukong from the tale. Son Goku literally means Son Wukong in Japanese text. Goku uses a red staff or pole, if you guys can remember, just like his counterpart Wukong. Both fly on a cloud, both are heading on an epic quest, both of them are skilled fighters, both of them have monkey-like traits, and Goku is quite different where he transforms into an ape, which after looking at the moon, right, which is like werewolf tales which Toriyama has clearly used for inspiration. Wukong knows transformations and Goku also knows and has transformations. Moving on, Goku's design also originates from Dragon Boy, which was a one-shot manga Toriyama had created with a similar concept. Basically, it's a precursor to the show. Essentially, in 1983, Kazuhiko Torishima, who I have mentioned in previous Dragon Ball videos, told Akira Toriyama to draw a Kung Fu-esque comic as he already knew that Toriyama loved Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. So I guess, as a mentorish or as his boss, he tried to suggest to him a Kung Fu comic would make sense for him to write, because it would make sense, right, Toriyama, to create something he is a fan of. Therefore, Toriyama agreed reluctantly and he decided to create a one-shot manga called Dragon Boy. And Dragon Boy follows the same story writing techniques Toriyama had developed and was comfortable with from his previous series Dr. Slump. Dragon Boy follows a martial artist boy named Tanton who has to escort a princess. Tanton shares the same traits as Goku, in which he is ordered on this quest by his sensei. He's docile, isolated, and is clueless when it comes to the females. Other characters are also similar, with the princess being spoiled much like Bulma is in Dragon Ball, and there's this cat type creature that can transform like Puar. And lastly, another iconic element which we see in Dragon Ball is also briefly connected to Dragon Boy, in which the Dragon Ball type device is seen in the manga, which Tanton is given from his master, which contains a small dragon. Toriyama used this iconic concept for Goku in Dragon Ball, as quoting him, he says, "I wanted to create a game element in the show which was fun." Basically, you guys catch my drift, right? Toriyama has explained this himself in the 30th anniversary interviews, where he admits Torishima wanted him to create a Kung Fu series, but he didn't really want to do it. When the response was positive for Dragon Ball, which is an adventure story, and Toriyama has admitted he likes adventure more and enjoys the concept more. However, fans did not want an adventure show because he did a follow-up and it wasn't as popular. They wanted fights, which further propelled the idea of Dragon Ball, with Goku's creation being based on martial arts, Budokai, and fighting enemies. So as I stated before, Toriyama is a fan of multiple media from around the world, and that's why there are so many parodies within the anime, and story elements are borrowed from these avenues. For example, Goku's origin is undeniably similar to Superman, in which his father Bardock and mother Gine found out on their planet is going to be destroyed, so they sent their Saiyan son to Earth. He gets adopted and becomes a hero to the planet. Toriyama obviously knows of Superman, watched the movies, and is fan of the comics admittedly, essentially making Goku an alien which bumped his head and became good, much like Superman. And to be honest, another reason why Goku was so fun to watch is because he learns new things about Dragon Ball universe and the rules of this universe, much like the readers and viewers of the show, through his lens, thus pushing the character forward to iconic status as we relate to him and have fun with him. Dragon Ball also has references to Terminator, Star Wars, and of course other shows, further to the fact of Bobbidi Bibbidi and Boo referring to Disney, and then the Android saga being similar to Terminator again, and so on and so forth. You guys are kinda getting the point. Terminator 2 came out in 1991. What happened? Toriyama watched it, and then yeah, you get inspired, you draw your inspiration, make a twist here and there, implement the ideas you have into the universe you have created in your show. Everyone does this. Every creator, writer, musician, director, screenplay writer does this. It's how we as human beings are. Everyone is inspired from someone or something. It's not like Toriyama denies his brainwaves and they don't stem from these things, such as Daisunshu 6. He explains that sometimes he is driven into a corner when writing the manga, so he makes up and creates ideas on the spot to help him progress, such as the Super Saiyan transformation, which I will cover in a future video hopefully. Furthermore, to shape Goku for who he is, the characters, fights and tournaments, and basically his combat style in Dragon Ball, you can say it's based upon Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Movies such as Drunken Master, Game of Death, Armor of God, and many more, the martial arts displayed in the start of Dragon Ball and just the series in general stems from these two martial artists, which Toriyama was a huge fan of and actually met Jackie Chan, in which Jackie actually plays Arale in one of his films. This is what made the fight sequences that much better. Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee are legends and loved by everyone for their talents. If you're going to base your anime character upon them, like countless other media has such as Rock Lee, Fei Long, Kenshiro, you best believe that your character will become iconic and one of the fans' favourite. Using Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan's fighting style and icon scenes just added to the most entertaining fight sequences, dramatization and character development a protagonist needs for fans to back them. Toriyama at his core is a comedy mangaka. Dragon Ball was a gag anime in which it had a lot of jokes and parodies, which Dragon Ball Super is again reverting back to, as this is the direction they want to follow again. It's one of the charms of the show and it helped pioneer the modern shonen anime, which follow the same premise, throwing in jokes here and there whenever they can. If you rewatch Dragon Ball, the amount of jokes that is in every episode featuring the childish and ignorant Goku interacting with a human world whilst being a Saiyan is hilarious, and it's one of the reasons Dragon Ball became a classic and helped Goku become popular, as they actually did this really well in an entertaining manner that made sense. So the world we see of Dragon Ball and the universe that is 100% fictional a world that's not here and can be anywhere. Toriyama did this intentionally when creating Dragon Ball, because it allowed him to draw whatever he wanted and what came to his mind. He explained this himself in his 30th anniversary interview that drawing from the real world requires a ton of reference material, and it sucks if you draw something wrong. Even if you're just drawing a car, that's tiresome and I hate it. So the reason the Dragon Ball world ended up the way it is, where we see random shit like dinosaurs, cat talking and all this stuff which makes no sense, is because Toriyama smoked some shit.
Smoke weed every day.
Nah, I'm joking. It's because he does not want to do it. He wants to be lazy. He's writing once a week, for example. The reason he got rid of Goku's iconic tail was because it became a long procedure to draw it, and it got in the way, so he took it out of the plot. But that tale itself and these random stuff that happens is what helped propel the show to be iconic, which is ironic. So Goku, yeah, a cultural icon, a mascot for the 2020 Olympics, a person who is worshipped called Gokuism, a guy that is everywhere on KFC adverts, backpacks, t-shirts and games, a entity that literally represents Japanese culture to the rest of the world. It's actually insane when you think about it, how many people know and love this guy. Someone which many relate to, someone that people came to laugh their problems away, escape, someone that eventually taught life lessons, ideals and entertaining fights, meaningful relationships and what good friends are and what does it mean. What a journey. It's like it might end one day, but let's not think about that. So the Battle Royale arc is starting in Dragon Ball Super. Will he become the strongest? Of course he will, it's Goku. I hope you guys learnt something as usual and you enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash that like button and let me know what Goku means to you, or why you think he became so popular and iconic, and what's your favourite moment from each series. You can follow us on social media here, and I hope to see you guys in the next videos, and thanks for watching as always. See ya.